Hi and welcome to Cheeky Richo Cooking's red pepper soup. This is a very economical recipe using only these few ingredients here. It is also featuring on the 2-day diet. It's vegan, it's delicious, it's simple to make. The ingredients are in the recipe box below. This serving is for 4 entire meals. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is roast our red peppers, brush with a little oil under the grill until the skin is completely blackened. Remove that skin and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, just cut out red peppers or capsicum open, turn them upside down, brush them with a little of our olive oil, and that will help the skin to really blister and blacken, give it a nice sweet taste, and we remove that blackened skin once it's been under the griller. Light brush, you don't need to use all of that oil, it's going to be used later on in the next portion of the recipe. Remove all that extra white pith and all of the seeds. That could make your soup a bit bitter, and while bitter in some things is good, it isn't in this soup. Brush them all over, give them a good massage with the oil, and continue with the rest. Under a hot grill we go until the skin is burnt, blistered and blackened. Could be up to about 25 minutes or so under a hot grill. You can do this over your gas flame. This is a way of doing it in the oven. Okay, now we've just got to chop our onion up, peel and dice our garlic. Look how sharp these edge of Belgravia knives are. They're just like razor blades. And look at the perfect dice I'm getting on this onion. It's gorgeous. Continue with the rest. Okay, onions chopped, put to one side. We're just going to bust up our garlic, cloves, pop them into a jar, shake the daylights out of them. They'll peel themselves in there a lot quicker. Okay, how do we go? That's pretty tidy, isn't it? It's a bit more garlic than we need, but they're really big bell peppers or capsicums. Okay, the board's moving around too much while I'm trying to chop, so just grab a wet dishcloth. So brand new clean wet dishcloth, pop it down there, and it's not going anywhere, so you can chop to your heart's content without having to concentrate on the board going skating on you. Now don't leave your garlic sitting on your board, because it doesn't matter how hard you wash it or how many times you pop it through the dishwasher, which you really shouldn't do with a wooden board anyway. You will find that the garlic oils will permeate into the board, and the next couple of things that you cut will actually have that garlic flavour. Not ideal if you're doing something sweet, so we're just going to pop that into a little bowl and wash our board immediately. Okay, peppers, nice and black now. The skin is really quite crinkly. We're going to now cover that with some foil, keep the moisture in, and then just throw a tea towel over the top, leave it for about 10 minutes. That skin will go really crinkly, and when it does, we'll just be able to scratch it off quite simply. Any juice that's come out of it, maintain that in the bowl. We're going to be using that in our soup. Okay, it's showtime. Over medium heat, we just add our remaining oil and our onion. And we're just going to sweat that down so it's quite translucent. That in itself will caramelise it, make it quite sweet. And just give that a little stir around. We've just got it on quite a low heat at the moment. There's not a lot of oil in there, so you don't want it to stick. If it looks like it's going to burn, just add a little bit of stock to it. Slow it down. Okay, now we can add our garlic. This is a particularly mild garlic, so I've sort of increased the quantity here anyway, and stir that all around. Now, these are beans that I've soaked. The recipe says it calls for tinned beans. I've just soaked them overnight. I'm going to drain them now. It's about a cupful there. We're going to put that in as well with our stock, and it'll start to cook before we put our red peppers back in. This is going to be blitzed eventually, so this is going to be the thickener for the soup. Okay, we've got a bit of colour happening on the bottom of our pan now. We're going to send in our beans. Now these aren't anywhere near softened enough yet, but they will be by the time the soup is prepared. So just stir that all around, and then we're going to send in our vegetable stock, about half at this stage, looking a bit like swamp water, but don't let that deter you. End result is going to be really sweet, filling and delicious. It's time to remove our blackened skin from our capsicums. Peel all that off, leaving behind the flesh of the capsicum. Only uncover it bit by bit, because if you don't, you're going to end up with it drying out on top and it won't peel away. It comes off quite easily. Doesn't matter if there's a couple of little blackened pieces left in there. It's going to be hard to remove it completely anyway. A lot cooler to handle now too. Don't let it get completely cold, because it's going to be really hard to peel then. There, pretty good. One down. And continue with the rest. Okay, lucky last. You see how easy it is to peel. You'd never achieve this result any other way, and the cooking process actually intensifies the sweetness. Now, for you non-gardeners out there, the only difference between a red bell pepper, a red capsicum, and a green one is a red one has been left on the vine longer to ripen more than the green ones picked earlier. So that's probably why your red ones are a little bit dearer, because they've taken a little longer to grow. That juice is going in too. If you wanted to, you could preserve these now, use them in a salad. I've actually done this with 3 different coloured peppers, the red ones, the yellow ones and the green ones, and then just cut them in strips and platted them on a plate. And they look really effective as a garnish. Might show you that one time, but I've just told you about it, so there's probably not much point. And that's all the waste we have. Really not much. Okay, back to action station now. We'll give this a little bit of a stir. Nothing's stuck. The beans are softening up nicely. Now the recipe says that you're supposed to chop this up, but I really can't see the point. It's just going to make a big mess, so we're going to just slide that back in as it goes, because we're going to be blitzing this later on anyway, and that way I'll get to collect all those yummy juices. I don't care about the seeds in there. There's not too many, and we're just going to simmer this away until those beans are cooked. That could take anything up to half an hour, given that they've only been soaked overnight. If you use canned beans, you could just about nearly skip this step. So we just put a bit more of our stock in there. A little bit of skim that got away on me. Pull that off. I don't know why this works, but it does. In 10 days, Richo lost 5 kilos and I lost 4 kilos. And we've been following it pretty carefully, but not too religiously. We're going to be serving this with a slice of toast, a granary slice of toast. So I don't know many diets that actually let you do this, and this is smelling pretty fine. So we just let that boil away for another half an hour or so until those beans are well and truly softened. Okay, about 25 minutes later, our beans have nicely softened. You can see they're really quite squishy. We're going to blitz this soup now when it's cooled off a little bit and it's ready to serve. This freezes beautifully. It's great to take to work if you're dieting and you need a meal when you're away from home. All you'd have to do is reheat it, or you're vegan, you'd have to worry about temperature control, because you can keep it in a thermos or an insulated container and transport it readily. Okay, we're just going to reheat this now. You can see how lovely and thick and creamy it is, and that's got with no dairy in it whatsoever. We're just serving it with some low-fat hummus there, some grain bread or grain toast, multi-grain toast, and that's an entire meal. 4 servings actually there, and this freezes beautifully, so you can just put some away for later on. Hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration of Cheeky Richo's red pepper soup with low-fat hummus, Granary Bread from the 2-day diet book. If you'd like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, just check out our Cheeky Richo cooking channel, and don't forget to please subscribe. Do come back and visit us again soon. We've got so much more to show you, and we're uploading lots of videos, so thanks very much for watching. Okay, we're just going to give our soup a little sprinkle of some spring onions. Gives it a nice bit of colour. It's really quite a festive coloured soup, isn't it? Okay, have a little taste, shall we? See how thick it is? That's the beans have thickened it. This is totally vegan. There's nothing in here that contains any animal product. It smells amazing and tastes great. Thanks for watching.